Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to share everything you need to know about starting a trucking LLC. Here are the 8 steps that you need to know to form your trucking LLC. If you don't want to do all this work yourself and you want to use a company to do this service for you, we'll leave a timestamp here to the tutorial towards the end of the video where we will walk through with Northwest Registered Agent on how to form your LLC through their service. We recommend this to all our friends because there's no headache involved. It's a really affordable service and they will do everything for you to make sure that you are compliant. Okay, let's get right into it. So before we get to the steps, let's talk about a couple things briefly. What is an LLC? A limited liability company, or LLC, is a business structure that helps protect its owners from being held responsible for its debts and liabilities. It's a business entity that blends the benefits of a corporation with a partnership or sole proprietorship. Now, why does your trucking company need an LLC? Creating an LLC creates a separate legal entity from yourself. This will help you distinguish between your business assets and your personal assets. It also provides liability protection in the case that there are lawsuits filed against the business. And lastly, it builds credibility in the eyes of the customer. Okay, now that we've had a bit of an overview, let's get right into the steps. And this first step is to choose a state to register your LLC in. The first recommendation we have is your home state. This will prevent double taxation, and it's just a little bit more complicated to file in another state. If you're also going to move somewhere, Texas is a great state to start a trucking company in. It's generally a tax-friendly state and recently was ranked one of the top states for trucking businesses. Another state is Wyoming. They have no personal income tax and has some of the lowest rates for trucking insurance. Delaware is another state as well that has very business-friendly tax laws. And Nevada is another tax-friendly state as well. Step number 2 is to choose a name. Now you must follow the naming guidelines in your state. It's going to vary state to state, but generally the guidelines say that you must have limited liability company or the abbreviation LLC or L.L.C. in the name of your company. Your name cannot be confused with a government organization like the FBI or CIA. You need to make sure that your name is available in your state, and to do that you can conduct a name search on the Secretary of State website for your desired state. And lastly, you want to make sure that there is an available URL for the name of your company because maybe you want to make a website in the future. Step number 3 is to file your articles of organization. Now the fee to file this and the name of this document is actually going to vary from state to state, but by filing this document is what truly creates the formation of your LLC. So make sure to check the Secretary of State website for your desired state. Step number 4 is to obtain an EIN number. This is also called a federal tax identification number. Think about it as a social security number for your business. This allows the IRS to keep track of your business's tax status. And to get one of these, you are required by the state to open a business bank account and to hire employees. The IRS provides this EIN number free of charge after forming your LLC. And to get this, you can apply online or by mail. Step number 5 is to hire a registered agent. LLCs are required to have a registered agent. Now this is a person or business responsible for accepting and sending legal documents on the behalf of your business. This can include tax forms, lawsuits, and government correspondence. Step number 6 is to designate a process agent. In some cases, they can be the same thing, but only if you use certain companies, which we'll talk about in a minute here. So carriers must designate a process agent on behalf of the business. This is a point of contact to whom legal proceedings and documentation will be sent to. A process agent must be designated in each state that you operate in. And to do that, you need to file form BOC3, which I'm actually going to show you how to do here in a second. We put a note here. Some registered agents will be able to act as process agents. So you just want to make sure that if you're using a company that they act as both. Now, both a process agent and a registered agent can be you or an employee, but we really don't recommend that you do this. The reason that most businesses don't do this is because the applicant's information get put on the public domain. So address, name, and phone number are all things that can be put on the public domain, and it's really important that you keep a lot of that private. This is really why we recommend using a company like Northwest Registered Agent to do this for you. This will make sure that your information is kept private. And Northwest Registered Agent actually includes a free year of registered agent service with the purchase of an LLC package. So it's a no-brainer to use them for this service. There's a couple more steps in the process, but let's get into this tutorial first and then we'll come back to those after. So if you clicked on that link down below in the description, it'll bring you to this page where we're going to set up our LLC. I'll also be walking you through that BOC3 form filing with Northwest right after this one. Okay, so let's click Get Started here. Once you click Get Started, it'll bring you to this page here and you'll just click LLC. Next, you'll choose the state that you want to form your LLC in. And then after that, it'll pop up these filing options here. Now just note that Northwest doesn't get any of the money from these filing fees right here. Whether you use them or go through the government website yourself, you're going to have to pay these fees regardless. So let's just take a look. The standard processing fee is $90 for 10 days and it goes up to 6 days here at $165. You can choose what's best for you, but for the sake of this video, let's just just choose $90 for the standard rate. And if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see the option for Northwest to file your BOI report. Now that's a new requirement for 2024. We'll talk about it a little bit later on in this video, but for now we're going to keep that clicked. It's only $9 for them to file it for us. So now let's click continue. Okay, so I will name my LLC here, and you can choose whether or not you want to send a copy of lawsuit and legal notices to your attorney here. Then go ahead and put in your business purpose for your LLC. Now if you scroll down here, you'll see these options that they have for physical and mailing address. Now we recommend that you use their free year of registered service agent, so both of these buttons you're going to want to click our registered agent address. Now that you have both clicked for our registered agent address, you'll go ahead and click continue. Next is company management. There's two types, member managed and manager managed. Most of the people watching this video are going to be member managed. If you have somebody else managing your company, then you're going to select manager managed. Go ahead and insert the names of the members. I'll just put my name in here. You're going to want to make sure that you click our registered agent address. Like we said, that's going to protect your privacy and it's free for a year, so let's just use it. Once you're finished there, click continue. Go ahead and put in your contact details now, and then click continue. Now go ahead and create an account with your email information, and then once you're done with that, click continue. Next, it'll bring you to business identity. Now this is a free 90-day trial, and it gives you things like domain name, website, business email, and phone number. Let's just leave it on for now because it's free for 90 days, but you can decide whether you need it or not. Once you're finished with that, click continue, and then it brings you to this page where you have some optional items that you can choose. So this EIN number that we talked about earlier, Northwest will actually file this for you if you like. Now, depending on whether you have a social security number or do not, it's either $50 or $200. S-Corp election with the IRS, this is going to file form 2553. We'll talk about this a little bit later on in the video, but that's an additional $50. Electing your LLC as an S-Corp can have some really great tax benefits for you that we're going to talk about a little bit later. They also have mail forwarding service and trademark service. Let's leave all these off for now, and then we'll just click continue. Now it brings you to payment information. Go ahead and enter all your payment information, and when you're finished, you can just click done. And you'll see that the basic package was only $39. That processing fee, which we have to pay to the state of California, was $90, and then we paid an additional $9 to have them file our BOI report. For a total of $138, that's super affordable to get our LLC off the ground. Step number 7 is to complete compliance filings. The first one here is to apply for the US DOT number. This is a unique identifier when collecting and monitoring a company's safety information. All commercial vehicles that haul cargo in interstate commerce need this number. You must register with FMCSA to get this. You'll also need an operating authority or MC number. This is required for transporting passengers or federally regulated commodities in interstate commerce. Again, you need to file this one through FMCSA as well. Just a couple more regulations here. Next is International Registration Plan or IRP. This is an agreement between the US and the Canadian provinces. This recognizes the registration of commercial motor vehicles in another jurisdiction. So you register through IRP, you'll pay a fee, and then you can haul things through Canada. You need to do this if you're looking to do business in Canada. The last one here is the International Fuel Tax Agreement. It was established between the US states and the Canadian provinces in order to help simplify fuel use reporting. You will need to file this quarterly to determine your fuel tax. Okay, step number 8 here is to obtain truck insurance. It's really important to protect your business with truck insurance, and here are a couple examples of truck insurance that you will need. Primary auto liability, general liability, physical damage, bobtail or non-trucking liability, motor truck cargo, rental reimbursement, trailer interchange, medical payment, uninsured or underinsured motorists, and reefer breakdown coverage. Pause the video here if you want to take a deeper look and research some of these topics. Okay, quick note here on taxation for your LLC. LLCs are typically subject to pass-through taxation. This basically means that the business owner is going to pay tax on all of the business's income for the calendar year. In addition, you're also going to have to pay a 15.3% self-employment tax. And that brings us to step number 9, which is elect your LLC as an S-Corp to save money on taxes. This can actually help you legally avoid paying some of the self-employment tax, and we'll show you in an example here in a minute. To do this, the business needs to pay the owner a reasonable salary that they will be taxed on instead. So this is going to save you from paying that 15.3% tax on a portion of your income. We recommend doing this if your business is making $40,000 to $50,000 in net profit. And to do this, you need to file form 2553. It was also an additional option that Northwest provided in one of the last pages of your registration. So let's get into this example here. Let's say the profit of your business is $100,000. Let's say you pay yourself a reasonable salary of $50,000. That $50,000 is subject to federal tax, state tax, and a 15.3% self-employment tax. But that remaining $50,000 counts as a distribution. This distribution is not subject to the 15.3% self-employment tax. If you do the math here of the $50,000 that's a distribution corporation times that 15.3%, then it equals over $7,600 in saved money from taxes. Just a disclaimer here, this is not tax advice. You should really be consulting your attorney and tax professional to see what is best for your situation. The last thing we wanted to talk about here was the new BOI requirements as of January 1st, 2024. This new document requires you to report information on the beneficial owners of your LLC. This was the form that we talked about earlier in Northwest, and they charge $9 to file this for you. So the deadlines of these are as follows. If you were an entity that existed before January 1st, 2024, then you have until January 1st, 2025 to file this document. If you're an entity created in 2024, then you have 90 days from the formation of your LLC or other corporation to file this document. And if you are an entity created in 2025, you will only have 30 days from the formation of your LLC to file this document. Now, this is just a brief overview of the BOI. We actually did a full video on it. We'll be sure to link it here. That is everything you need to know about starting a trucking LLC. We really hope that you gain some value from this video, and we'll be sure to list all the resources that we talked about in this video in the description below. This channel is dedicated to providing entrepreneurs and business owners like you with free content like this. Please leave a like and subscribe because it helps us put out more free content like this in the future for business owners like you. Thank you so much for watching. We're rooting for you, and we will see you in the next one.